Hello, friends and kindred souls. Welcome back to Sage Thyme. I'm Lillian. I'm glad you're here. How are you? How are you doing today? Here in my region of the world in the Pacific Northwest, it is beautiful. It's very summery. It is, well, it's vibrant and it's one of those just gorgeous, rare spring, vibrant days. We've got a lot of cards coming out. That is. I was looking for an overall card from the Lemuria deck. I guess we're doing it this way. Let's see what we got. Let's see what Spirit wants you to know. I was going to ask energies that you're surrounded with and energies, energies that you're working with. And personally, what to focus on. So let's see what's being said. This is a lot because these cards are a lot. Let's see what happens. All right. So I think it kind of came out backwards in a little bit. So the energies that you're working with personally are alignment with your sacral chakra. And I super duper duper love this because there's something more specific here for you to focus on. It's not strictly speaking like just align your energy in cohesive and all the tag words that people say, and maybe they understand it, maybe they don't, maybe their definition of it pertains to you, maybe it doesn't. So let's talk about what wants to be said today in terms of aligning with your sacral chakra. Okay, I think that's what's really coming in here out here in the next two cards, because we've got the card Fire, Solaris, Sublime, and instead of I'm forgetting the name, the two snakes winding up the staff, it's very raw, healing, ancient healing, duality, divine masculine and feminine, up the Kundalini. And this is a fire energy, which is really fascinating because it presents very water-like, right? We've got these blues and these contrasting blues. And I'm seeing images of the woman here at the base. It almost looks as if she has wings coming out of her heart chakra. But again, it's talking about fire. What are you telling us, Spirit? So we've got the sacral chakra. We've got fire, which of course is that culmination of heat in the cauldron of the root chakra, the first chakra. And in Chinese medicine, in traditional Chinese medicine, the root chakra, the lower dantian, which includes the root and the sacral and a little bit of the solar plexus. The lower dantian is the triple, it's the triple burner. It's the aspect of the internal physical self that provides vitality to the body, and the rest of the meridians, the points, and the other two dantians. And so having this message from Spirit to focus on your sacral chakra, the core of creation, is telling me that there have been and there are continuing to be some really strong upgrades with that lower dantian, that root and sacral chakra, and the focus on the sacral being, well, the root is the I am, and the sacral chakra is the I belong. And now I'm being brought to the idea of different mantras. And now I'm seeing somebody drawing images of what comes forward from that, what would grow and sprout from that statement, I belong. And some of the mantras could be I am statements like I am wanted, and knowing when saying I am wanted that it's, and you can even say out loud, I am respectfully and healthfully wanted. I am lovingly wanted and accepted. I belong in this world. I belong in my body. And when saying those mantras, repeating them out loud, and then after a few times out loud, you can say them silently and feel the energy. Allow yourself to open up and feel that energy of what it feels like, because there is a signature of energy that comes with each distinct word of each different mantra. I am loved. I am wanted. I belong, wanted, lovingly accepted. These different words or mini phrases have a signature of intonation and resonance. And really opening up and feeling that allows you to exact and enhance the process of alignment, right? Because you can feel where there's glitches throughout the body. You can feel where there's like, it's not flowing here. It feels stuck, or there's a discomfort or an emptiness, a vacuousness. If you're somebody who visually moves through things, or sensorially, or all the above, of course, really working on utilizing your strengths to enhance the areas that you don't always. So if you're somebody who can visualize things moving through your body, colors, lines, shapes, expressions, and so forth appearing, but your clairsentience isn't as strong, your ability to feel and perceive sensorially within that felt experience, then you can work with in tandem that ability that is your strength, to enhance and keep reverting back, like stepping over to one side, camera one, camera two, camera one, camera two. I can see it. No, I can't quite feel it. I'm gonna see that I can feel it. And then I'm gonna see it. That's nice and strong. I'm gonna feel it like that. Okay. I'm still not sure. I think we're going to end up reading this Fire Solaris. This reading, I intend for it to not to be super long. So let's see what happens. From that, we've got Nurture Nature with the Earth card. Okay. This is a very unique combination of cards for me. And you can kind of feel I'm going, okay, what are you telling me, Spirit? Nurture nature. I mean, first off, yes, grounding, enhancing that lower burner, that root chakra, visualizing and feeling and infusing and cultivating that I am chakra with colors, images of colors, with the presence of your consciousness, and with that connection with the natural world. And I'm not just talking about walking around in the woods or in a park nearby and placing your hands on trees and taking your shoes off, not your feet off, taking your shoes off, feeling into the ground. Yes, those as well. But I'm also talking about all the moments in between, connecting with the natural world, the earth consciousness as a whole in all your moments. When you're pouring a glass of water from, your water container or your faucet, connecting, blessing the water, yes, and verbally doing it enhances that connection, and also connecting with it from a heart space of gratitude, and say some words of gratitude, and connecting with your food when you are sitting down before you eat it. Sometimes I'll take a bite first and just have that extra sensory perception of the different flavors in my mouth. And sometimes I'll go through a long, visionary, long meaning like a minute or two, visionary from this moment and this food to all of its roots and contributors throughout all of time. And sometimes I'll simply bless it and give my gratitude and thanks with a few seconds of words, something along the lines of, I am grateful and I give gratitude and heartfelt thanks to every hand, heart, hoof, claw, paw, energy, entity, thought form, critter, element, consciousness that went into the creation of every ingredient of this meal, every molecule, every particle and subparticle that is comprised of all of this meal, and every thing, non-thing out there that contributed throughout all of time and space to the presentation and the provisions of what this meal has to offer me. And then I'll do a confirmation statement of what I am grateful for: the nourishment, the intelligence throughout time, the wisdom, or the health, or the vitality. I'll name a few things. And it is, I'm telling you this in detail because it is so profound what happens after that. And whether you notice it or you don't, you'll start to really notice not only how your experience of assimilating and integrating those nutrients will change over time, and you may even notice it in the immediacy, especially when praying over water, giving thanks to it, feeling love with it, being present with it, all those things. We know, I mean, the oh, what's his name? Emoto? I'm forgetting now. The Japanese scientist that did um, took images of molecules of water that were meditated over, prayed over, yelled at, cursed at, and it was just phenomenal, the consistency of the results. And so, and those are something more uniform, like a water molecules. So when doing that with food, now we're doing a very comprehensive, in this moment of time, in this era of time, that contributed to the ingredients, and also throughout time, paying tribute by being in that state of presence. Paying tribute doesn't have to be a big thing. In fact, our greatest, as is the design of the universe, and we're bringing it back, we're bringing back the truth and the potency of this. Our greatest power of currency is not in the almighty dollar. We're taking away the dogma and the religiosity of capitalism and the dollar, because it's been distorted and, all the stuff. We're bringing it back, and more it's, I've been doing this for a lot of years now, and more I'm noticing that the currency that is in the circulation of abundance is so much more strong and profound when it's energetic, and not energetic strictly in the mind. The mind is a great steering tool, correcting tool, navigating tool. It's the presence in the heart, in addition to the cohesiveness of the entire system and its alignment. There we go. Now the message is coming through. And that's why we are building fire in our sacral. Because right now there's something about the timing. Maybe it's, nah, I wanted to say it still has to do with the stellium and Aries, but there's more to it than the astrology. There's something more going on. And really, I think we've been healing and loving and repairing that I belong center, energy center of our body, that creation center, the womb center, man or woman, or other, it doesn't matter, that creation center in the sacral. We've been healing it and repairing it by giving it attention, providing good, healthy, whole food nutrition, hopefully as much as possible. And when not, working with what you have and being in that sense of, I am safe, I am, because I am doing the best I can with what I have. And I am trusting that, knowing and holding that and giving thanks to the universe and all contributors for that, that the universe is hearing that, which it hears it, it perceives it, it's in the reverberation of your resonance that comes from the toroidal field of you. And now Spirit is saying, let's really start enhancing and enhancing that sacral creation chakra, because you've laid so much groundwork and foundational work with the rest of you. Bringing in the root, I think there's still some work to be done there, but you've got a good root base moving through your 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 root and the legs and through the feet and into the consciousness of the earth, as well as what you're emitting from your heart space, your vocals, and so forth. But bringing all this from up here down and bringing it down into that fire and stoking it and smoldering. We don't want to burn. We don't want to light things up so fast and fiery that we burn out. This is a long-term sustainable fire. And this is a fire that is being then utilized and spread throughout the meridians and the smaller chakras of the body, the smaller energy centers. So this is what's going on with now stoking that fire of the root chakra, grounding into the earth, paying tribute throughout all the little moments. And it can be short and sweet if you're busy and you're working and things like that. You can keep it short and simple, but enhance the potency of that short and simplicity by taking time when you are at home, when you do have time on a daily basis, letting that be your practice and taking that time to really enhance the longhand version of it. So when you do the shorthand version of the gratitude, while you're driving in your car, you say a few words, for the wind that comes through your window and the fresh scent of rainwater or whatever it is. Okay. I think we've got that message. Last card that came out and wants to be included, and I don't know why. Ooh, this one's really glowing, isn't it? Isn't it? Luminescence. Isn't she beautiful? Okay, so I'm seeing there that's the Qigong holding and circulatory energy, that currency that we are cultivating and curating and refining, clearing out any muck and distortions, and then creating that circuitry. Here she's using her center, her heart center, running it through the lines of, her arms and I can't orient right here. And then bringing it out through her palms. And what's enhancing that now is that sacral chakra, that internal fire. And so doing things, of course, people talk about wearing colors that fit with that. And yes, definitely, doing artwork with oranges and reds and things and plums and so forth. Yes, those are great. Definitely eating those colors. Yeah. Oh, no, actually, no. I mean, I don't want to contradict anybody. If it works for you, totally it works for you. And there are some yams are great. What am There's a lot of information coming in. What was I saying? What were we saying? What did you want me to tell you about? Cultivating, culminating, enhancing that sacral chakra while staying rooted into the earth, doing the internal work, doing the external work, the simple day to day moments, cultivating that energy in the heart space, using things like Qigong methods. There was a focus that wanted to be brought into with the kidneys. The kidneys are part of that creation and sacral chakra area, especially in Chinese medicine. There is a very, very important connection between the heart and the kidneys. And people will experience what is a diagnosis in Chinese medicine called heart kidney disconnect. And it's often very much related to what would be diagnosed in Western medicine as adrenal insufficiency, which is a terribly diluted term for, adrenal fatigue and adrenal insufficiency are very, very scary, extreme levels of your adrenals being burnt out. And so that might be something that you've really dealt with. And you've been on a long road, perhaps, of repair of that. Or this could be a bit of a flag coming up for you. Are you taking care of your nervous system to ensure that your kidneys are being well taken care of? Because when we get a heart kidney disconnect, it can be due to prolonged PTSD, CPTSD, or any PTSD, just chronic stress in work and home environment, high octave expectations externally and internally, as well as, oh, I just lost it. So, kidneys in Chinese medicine, when they are in an unhealthy state, kidneys are related to fear. So, kidney yin deficiency is often related to overexertion, which at the root is a sense of inadequacy and not belonging in the world, not being wanted in the world. And so the overachiever status tends to kick in. And this is where these things come together. So the kidneys will have these related energies of fear. But in order to maintain the momentum of the internal deep subconscious narrative that says we don't belong or we're not enough or those different things, then that fear is quieted and quieted and quieted. And of course, we know what happens to our internal systems when we quiet things and push beyond it. They start shutting down, and that's where we'll see things like adrenal fatigue and insufficiency, kidney things, UTIs, and so forth. Those kinds of things, as well as more energetic things, always kind of not ever having the bills be paid for, always in a bit of a deficit, or as soon as some abundance comes in, it slips away. A lack or diminished creative potential. And so the heart chakra needs those lower chakras, that sacral chakra especially, to be full and fiery and blooming at a steady, consistent, healthy rate and intensity, because that rises. Again, that triple burner, the lower burner heats it up, and that root chakra is able to do so because of its connection to the earth, because it's able to ground energy from above and anchor into the earth and pull from below. All that rises up and enhances the heart's ability and the lungs, and the breath work that keeps things moving and in circulation. And now we have a fully intact and fully functioning dual toroidal field, one that starts at the base of the heart chakra and moves up and around, and one that starts at the superior aspect of the solar plexus and moves out and down and through. And they connect. They're not separate, even though they're distinctly their own toroidal fields, but they connect there right at that juncture between the heart and the solar plexus, right in what my guides have always called the Chiron keyhole. And it's right at that xiphoid process that's right below the angle of where the rib cage comes up like this and then goes out. And so I don't know, that's a bit of a tangent. However, it feels important because that's what is bringing in the increase of quality and quantity of your personal currency, what you have for your own personal reserves and your own stamina and vitality and ability to really work with what you have and then emanate out the extra so that the universe can, and the world, the energies of the world and the consciousness of the world and the universe can then circulate it back too, right? Because everything big and small is a fractal of, or a micro and macro aspect of it. And we all know the Earth has its own very measurable toroidal field, as do we, and all kinds of things in between and around. And I don't expect that any research has been done on this, but I bet you that, I mean, it wouldn't be a stretch to be able to measure toroidal fields of regions like towns, neighborhoods, things like that. I bet that's coming up in the future. So I think we're going to not move into another deck and rather, do you guys want to hear? I feel like that fire. No, we're going to do the luminescence. Okay. I'm not sure what that fire card is all about. How are we doing on time? Yeah, we'll just do this one. All right, everybody. Oh, good news too. Tomorrow I should have a mic, so the sound on this will be dramatically improved. And I thank everybody for being so patient with these videos. I know that the sound isn't super high, and when I project, I often will lose the strength of connection with some of the energies and consciousnesses that I channel. Not today though. It's potent. All right, here we go. Luminescence. Huh. Yeah. Okay. Self-love, the light that radiates from our hearts, light shining in the darkness, heart-centered living, removing your heart armor, accepting your shadows as the flip side of your strengths, a vulnerable, wide open heart, authentic, heartfelt needs. Those are the key phrases. So let's have a sip. No wonder it feels hot today. It's 80 degrees out. Definitely a spring summer day. When we choose to journey through life from our heart, it illuminates the darkness. All illusion drops away and we see what is real. What does self-love look like for you? Self-love is often talked about, but we don't always consider its deeper implications. One of the keys for bringing heaven to earth is the realization of our optimal reality, to create a new earth, not dissimilar to the Lemurian utopia. We navigate or illuminate our journey through our hearts. When our core foundations are integrity and kindness, our choices are ethical, and our souls radiate warmth, hold compassionate space for others, and inspire others to carry it forward. Unfortunately, as we travel through life, we often armor ourselves to protect our hearts. We fear them to be delicate and vulnerable, but this is contrary to the incredible power of having a fully open heart. Sadly, we can toss parts of ourselves in the trash, unquote, because we cannot see how they serve us, or they may feel too ugly or painful. Loving yourself is about accepting all of yourself, including the parts you may consider less desirable. Self-love is unconditional. As we make the journey to wholeness, we see that the parts we have severed from ourselves are counterparts to our greatest strengths. We also realize the actions we thought benefited others when we went out of our way to please fall short or fall away. In their place, we can allow authentic gifts to unfurl and bring luminosity to shared endeavors and environments. Consider how you relate to your world when you come to it from a happy place of fullness, doing things because you want to. Sometimes we feel we must give away our happiness to show we care for others. But when we live our joy, it affects others, acting from uninspired obligation, and the cloud it brings can hold no light to that joy. Remember, your internal world reflects your outer reality. If you are met by less than ideal dynamics, they may hold a clue to your unloved parts. Accepting our less desirable aspects doesn't make the behavior that may arise from them okay. Accepting your whole self means being okay with the foundations that created those insecurities and bringing them back into balance. A technique for painting light involves balancing the surroundings with a darker color. The darker the juxtaposition, the brighter the light appears. This is a great analogy for accepting all aspects of our deeper selves. Be real with your shadows so you can let more light in and shine brighter. Love is the most potent and healing tool that we have. And the more we feel, the more we create. It's contagious too. The more we live from our hearts, the more we find it in our lives. So, how do we kickstart this wholeness of being? Be present and authentic with your heartfelt needs. I'm going to say that again. Be present and authentic with your heartfelt needs. Have an awareness and a softening towards your unloved parts. It may seem easier said than done, but start seeing things from a gentler, more compassionate place, away from judgment. And in the bigger picture, we are all doing the best we can within our circumstances. This is a long one. Often the things that keep us out of our hearts are much simpler to release than we realize. Finding what makes us happy and surrounding ourselves with those who really see us and encourage us to go a long way. Be aware of the parts of yourself that you find easy to love and set goals for healing themes that require extra care and attention. Honor the fantastic vessel your body is. Look at what you are good at and grow your self appreciation from this place. Wonder at the challenges you have moved through. Dream big, but also be real about what is achievable. Do not compare yourselves to others, as we all have our different struggles and strengths. Think about all you are grateful for. Acts of kindness are another way to expand that heartfelt, feel good vibe. So there's so much more I want to say, and I'm not going to because that's a whole nother reading. But I am also going to re-listen to that part. There was so much said there, so much to contemplate and really allow myself to absorb. And I hope you do the same thing. And I really do feel like even though her focus and description was around the heartfelt feelings, it really did feel like it tied so strongly into the sacral, that I belong, I am wanted, I am accepted, I am loved, I belong in this world, I belong in this body, and from that I create. So I hope that you enjoyed this quick little message that maybe wasn't quite as quick, but there was a lot of good things to be said. Have a beautiful day wherever you are in the world. And thank you, everybody, always for your likes and your comments. It means the world to me, and it helps support the vitality of this channel and the readings. Much love to all of you. Ahom.